Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I call Mr. Muhammad Lamin Jiba.
Mohammed? New one. New one, yes. Yeah. Witness number
26. Yes. 1 hour 75. So this is 26.
yes, okay. Yeah. Witness number 26.
I swear by the Almighty Allah
I swear by the Almighty Allah
that the evidence I shall give to this commission
that the evidence I shall give to this commission
shall be the truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
So help me Allah.
So help me Allah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah.
Please give your full names to the commission.
My name is Mohammed Lamin Jiba.
Where do you live?
I live at Bursubi Estate, Phase 1.
What work do you do?
At the moment, I'm not working, but I used to work at the Gambia Post Authority some 2 years ago.
Would you like to take a seat?
Pardon? Your Honor?
Would you like to sit down? Would you like to sit down?
No, I'm comfortable at the moment.
You're comfortable at the moment?
Yeah.
Okay. You say at the moment you are not working.
Yes, Your Honor.
How do you make a living?
I'm a retiree. I'm paid some pension. I rely on my pension benefits.
I didn't get the answer.
I said I've been terminated, but you know I'm managing to receive my pension benefits from Social Security.
Did you get it? Okay.
Technician, can you help there because it's not very audible. Can you ask him whether he really wants to sit? It's not a problem if he sits. Yeah. Okay.
You worked in the public service?
Yes, Your Honor.
And can you just tell us what your career is? Map out your career for us in the public service.
When I graduated from high school in 1974, I took up employment with Service Department as a draftsman in 1975. From there, then I was transferred to Department of Water Resources and worked there for 2-3 years till 1985. Then the following year, 1986, I went to the United Kingdom to study and came back in 1990. And then I worked at the PMO for 8 years. From 1990 to 1998, I was working as a personal officer.
1990 to 1998?
I was working at the PMO as a personal officer. And then I rose through the ranks and was promoted to Principal Human Resource Manager of the PMO. And from 1998, then I was transferred, I had a job, with Social Security as training officer.
To where?
Social Security and Housing Finance Corporation.
As what?
As training officer from 1998 to 1999. Then in October 1999, I was appointed as Managing Director of the Gambia, of the AMRC, Access Management and Recovery Corporation, AMRC, in 1999.
1999.
Yes, Your Honor. Then I worked there for 5 years and was transferred to Gambia Post Authority as Managing Director in October 2004.
To when?
From 1999 to 2004, I was Managing Director of the Gambia Post Authority.
2011. Sorry, what did you say? You were at GPA from 2004 to when?
2004 to April 2011. To April 2011. I was then redeployed to Social Security and Housing Finance Corporation from 2011 to August 2012.
Okay.
And I was then deployed back to the ports from 2012 to December 16 when I got terminated. December 16, 2014, when I was terminated by government, yes.
December 16, 2014.
December 2014. December 16th, 2014.
That was your last service?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now you are someone in relation to Gambia Ports Authority, GPA. Is that
yes,
correct?
Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor, yes.
Now, there were, during your tenure in GPA, were there any CFA sold to the Office of the President?
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you tell us about it? How did that come about?
I think maybe my memory serves me right. I think this was around September 2013. When I received a phone call from the former president himself. Initially, he wanted to find out whether we do sell CFA to members of the public, including institutions. And I told him, yes, we do. Occasionally, we do that. Then he did tell me, but why didn't you tell me? I said, well, I told him, well, I didn't tell you because I never knew that you were interested in CFA. And that was the last discussion we had. Then after a few days or so, he called me back to say, let me explain to him how do we do the sales to banks and Forest Bureau. And I told him that there is a committee that has been established by myself that do the bids or the tender process. And then they will process the tenders. Sometimes they are in sealed envelopes. They will open them in the presence of the bidders. And then they will discuss the issues and then send a recommendation to my office for approval. He did tell me, well, why said you are part of the committee? How would you know they are doing a good job? And I told him that.
He said how?
He said, why is it I was a member of the committee, myself, as the MD, as the head of the organization? And I responded that, this is a system of checks and balances that I have instituted. I cannot be a member of the committee. I allow the committee to do its job and then send their recommendations to my office. That's why I didn't take part in I was a member of the committee initially, because if I do so, then maybe I'm going to influence whatever decision they're going to take. Because if I say, let's sell it to Trust Bank, maybe invariably nobody will go against the idea because I was the head of the organization. So it's better to allow the committee to do its job, knowing that there will be somebody that's a grand figure who's going to recheck, go through the process and see whether everything was transparent. I did so because I have served as chairman of the GBBA for more than 6 years. So I wanted to be guided by good corporate governance and transparency.
Yes, so
then the request, these are verbal directives or instructions. When he wanted the CFA, he did not write to us. He called me to say he we need so much amount of safer. And then because sometimes we don't have the amount required, we'll have to collect them from Transgambia, Basay and other places, including Banjul.
You have to collect them from where?
From Transgambia,
Transgambia.
Sometimes it takes time before we...
Sorry, we are still having problems at this end.
Yeah. It's not too high?
No, what I was saying is...
Maybe if you... could you speak a little slower? Yes? All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. What I'm saying, if the request is huge, we sometimes have to collect, safer from Transgambia.
Pull it down a little bit, yes.
Slowly, okay, thank you.
You said you explained to him the process you had in place for selling safer to banks and I think you said forex bureaus. Right. But then he requested...
Yeah, initially he did say he spied on us without me knowing he was getting information on the formal manner in which we dispose the safer.
I'm having some difficulty following what you're saying. Maybe adjust it for yourself. Adjust the mic for yourself, yes. Maybe pull it down a little bit. Okay.
I'm saying that initially, I don't know how he got the information, but he told me that he was spying on us over the formal manner in which we sell safer to members of the public. But he has discovered it was transparent and accountable.
He had a company?
Yes, he said, I think he was told by some people that maybe we had some safer and maybe he wasn't too sure on how we dispose it to members of the public. So he said he really spied on us without me knowing, but the information he got showed me we were transparent.
So when did he start requesting for safer to be sold to him?
Immediately after those developments.
Immediately after?
Immediately, well, after a few days, he did call me to say that he would need. He gave me directions that he would like us to sell him some paper. And he would tell us the amount.
That's how it started?
That's how it started, yes.
So you said he would do it by calling you?
Yes.
On the phone?
Yes, Your Honor.
And he would tell you how much he wanted? I think that's what you were saying. And if the amount was big and you did what?
Yes, Your Honor.
You said if the amount was huge.
He told me that it is highly confidential.
Okay.
So what I did normally, I would talk to the DMD and also the Director of Finance. What?
Normally you would talk to the DMD. Who is that? What is DMD? Is deputy?
DMD, Deputy Managing Director Osman Jobate.
Okay.
Yes, because he was next to me. And then we would get in touch with the Director of Finance of the Ferries, Mr. Ismail Awada. But because it was public money, we tried hard to develop an ad hoc paper documentation that would indicate we are giving him so much amount.
But you, okay.
Yes, we have done that, yes.
All right. What was the paper documentation?
No, I'll ask the director of the deputy managing director to take the document, because the issue is because these are our directives. These were our directives. It was difficult because this is the taxpayers' money, and the request was not done through the formal channels. It has always been a challenge for us to make the recordings. So we used to prepare ad hoc or impromptu documentation. Once we convey the money, we'll give him a copy. Maybe if you check through the file, you will see a series of correspondences from my deputy to him.
You can just, what you want to do is,
This one is far away, yeah?
no, not this one. You are speaking on this one. You can just be like this, but don't do it over.
Okay, okay.
But when you are speaking, don't lean back.
Sorry. Sorry. Okay.
Commissioners have to follow what you're saying. So you said you tried to have some sort of system. Sorry, you said you tried to have some sort of system in-house.
Yes, Your Honor. Because
to record the purchase of SEPA by the ex-president. What was this system?
I said we developed, instead of take a piece of paper and tried in terms of how much he needs and how much we are selling him. Because the submission from him was verbal. And to be able to account for the money and so at least to keep a paper trail of the transaction. We did not write the matter on a letterhead, but we developed a paper documentation that actually will relate, we have given you so much. If you check through the file, you may come across some of those correspondence that we did.
Okay. Sorry, just.
Maybe I have a copy.
Transcribers, are you following?
Your Honor, I think I have 1 or 2 copies of those. 1 or 2 copies, yes, I have them.
Yes, if you have, can we have them? I'll give you back these documents so that you can tell us what they are. Three documents, right? Just tell us what they are for the record before I receive them back.
These documents represent the financial transactions that we have recorded.
Okay.
In relation to the request from the President.
Okay. These were signed by who?
They were signed by Usman Jobate, Deputy Managing Director.
And give us the dates of those 3.
This one is 5th April 2014. The first one. They are not all. These are that I managed to keep.
Yes, I understand that these are some you managed to keep. You said so.
This one is dated 11th August 2014. This one is 27th September 2014.
What are the amounts?
Well, I think with the outstanding areas, if you add them to the last request, I think in CFA it's about 83 million CFA, but in dollars, converted dollars is 6.9 million.
Okay, these showed what you were selling.
6,930,000. This is outstanding.
So the document showed what you were selling at the time and the areas that were owing.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Let's have the documents. So basically, how did they pay? You said you made the arrangement. The CFA was arranged, and how was it handed over? And to whom was it handed over?
Because it was highly confidential, I authorized Mr. Osman Jobate, Deputy General, to carry the CFA to the State House.
You authorized Jobate to carry it to State House?
Yes, Your Honor.
And these documents that you just gave me, signed by himself.
Yes, Your Honor, it's signed by Osman Jobate.
What does he do with them?
These are my copies. He has his own copies for the records.
Did he take them with him?
Yes, he took this along to State House and give copies to the President's representative.
To whom, sorry? These are all addressed to the Honorable Secretary General, Minister for Presidential Affairs. Who was the Secretary General at the time? Do you recollect of these transactions?
I know it must be either Joguba or Usman Dembe.
If you are not sure, it's fine. We'd like you to be sure about your answers. Do you recollect?
No, I cannot recollect now, Your Honor.
Okay.
But they were never submitted to the office of the Secretary General.
Say that again.
I said these documents were never submitted to office of the Secretary General.
They were not submitted.
They were submitted to either Major Isfasane or General Suleiman Baj.
Okay.
But they acted as middlemen.
Did you say Major Yusuf Hassani? Major Yusuf Hassani?
Yes.
Or General Suleiman Baj?
Sol Baj, yes. Yes, Your Honor.
And the money, what about the money?
The money was given to either Major Isfasane or General Suleiman Baj, because initially it was Isfa Baj. Sorry, it was Major Isfasane. But I think he left the service and traveled to America. So when he left, then it was General Baji who was the intermediary.
General Baji was the intermediary.
Well, what I mean, we give him the money, he has them over to the president.
Okay. These are the only documents you have kept?
These are the few documents that I kept, yes.
Thank you. I'm applying to have 3 documents signed by Usman M. Jobate, entitled Sale of CFA Francs and addressed to the Secretary General.
Thank you. Notes on sale of CFA francs, dated respectively 5th April 2014, 11th August 2014, and 27th September 2014, signed by Usman Jubate, Deputy Managing Director, Gambia Ports Authority, and addressed to Honorable Secretary General. Admitted, marked SC8 in a bundle. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Now, how? Yes, okay.
Your Honor, I just wanted to make a statement. I think the reasons why I also kept these copies is also to remind the President, anytime he defaults in payments, for him to settle the outstanding balance.
Is to remind the President that? Sorry, repeat that.
I said the reasons why I kept these copies is sometimes to remind him of any outstanding balance that he has not paid, so that he will settle the ports.
Okay. So, when the money is, the CFA is given over to either General Baji or Major Yusufa Sani, when would the Dalasi equivalent be received?
Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 days, okay, before he pays.
So, but you said you had to remind the President sometime.
When he calls me, I always remind him that, you know, the money that has been deposited to you, up to now we have not received a payment from you. And normally he would pay. But I can only talk to him when he calls me, because I don't have his private line also.
Okay. Now I'll just show you a summary from Gambia Ferry Services Management Company, but through GPA. Now just confirm, how were these CFAs generated by GPA?
Your Honor, I think there was a bilateral agreement between the Gambia government and the Republic of Senegal, in which, you know, Senegalese, together with their Senegalese and businessmen or their transport, their vehicles were asked to pay in foreign denominations, in CFA or in dollar or in euro denominations.
Okay.
That was an agreement.
At which crossings?
More so it affected Trans-Gambia. But even in Banjul Bara free crossings, normally they can pay in CFA, but it more relates more to Senegal, to Trans-Gambia and Litena.
Okay. All right. I'm going to show you a summary received from Ports Authority of the CFA sales that they made during this period, totaling 322 million CFA. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
This is Exhibit SC4C.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes. Now look at the second page, please. You will see from that second page that Ports Authority claims an outstanding balance of 6.9 million approximately. Yes. You see it? Do you have anything to say about that?
I'm aware that this tax actually took place, And I think the outstanding balance observed by him is correct.
Okay.
In the month of August, latter part of the month of August, 2014, I took my annual leave. Although I didn't travel outside the country, I remained here. And I think some of these outstanding balances were not paid at the time when I was officially not at work. And I had difficulty in contacting and finding the president to settle the outstanding balance.
You had difficulty in contacting him to settle the outstanding balances? Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you collect the exhibit, please? Mr. Jiba, what do you know about the Kanilai International, Kanilai Cultural Arena?
The
cultural arena, during your tenure, did GPA have anything to do with it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, tell us about it.
I think, personally, I was a member of the organizing committee of the International Kanilai International Cultural Festival. I was made a member by the president.
The Kanilai, what do you call it?
The Kanilai International Cultural Festival.
Okay, International Cultural Festival.
Yes, but the venue is Kanilai Cultural Center. The venue where the festivities to take place.
This Kanilai Cultural Center.
Center of village, yes.
And this is at Kanilai?
Yes, Your Honor.
So what was GPA's involvement with this center?
If my memory serves me right, he had organized 1 or 2 cultural festivals before we were asked to intervene. I think the dates for the program normally start in May or June to early July. And during that time, while the programs were on, it sometimes in Kanilai it rains. So most of the participants or countries, together with spectators, when the rain comes, they will run away because they could not be well seated to watch the program. I think
because the arrangements were disrupted by the rain. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
So he did call me. One of the security.
By he, you mean the ex-president?
The president, yes.
He called you personally?
Yes. During the end of the festivities, they called for me to come to listen to attend to him. And he did. He directed that. He told me, Mr. MD, look at events. They were not successful because the people were not well seated, and when the rains disrupted the program. So therefore, the program itself were not successful. So I'm directing you to rebuild, because he has already put structures himself. I'm asking you to rebuild the place so that when people come, they will watch the programs. But these agents are verbal directives. You never put them on paper.
They were, okay, you said they were verbal directives.
Verbal directives, yes.
So what did you do as a consequence of that verbal directive?
When I came back, I discussed the issue with some of my directors. And then we budgeted. I think this was 2009.
Sorry? I didn't get that.
I said, I think this was around 2009.
Around 2009.
Around 2009, yes.
You said you discussed with some of your directors?
Yes, and I told them the president is saying that we have to put away most of the structures that he has put there in Kanilai, and that the GPA has to construct the venue, the cultural center, so that participating countries and participants and spectators can attend the programs once they are organized.
Are you able to follow? Yes, okay.
But he didn't write to me. They were verbal.
So did GPA take action as a result?
Yes, from 2009, we have invested by constructing the structures that are there in place. And sometimes over the years, we are asked to carry out periodical maintenance, repairs and maintenance of the facilities that were there.
Where was Sorry, continue.
As I said, from 2009 onwards, not only did we build facilities, but we were also periodically asked to come and carry out repairs and maintenance on facilities that were there.
You rebuilt the facilities that were there?
2009 to 2010, we built the structures that were there. And every year, because when the rains come, they sometimes may take havoc on some of the structures that are there. We are asked to come and repair them periodically during the year. During the dry season, when the rains have ceased.
Okay. Were you ever paid for the...
No, we were not paid because they were, again, verbal executive directives. But when because of the huge cost, what we did was, most of the time, the works were done internally. All we do is to pay allowances to staff of the State Department to do the works.
Okay. Which department?
State Department.
The Estate Department.
Yes, Your Honor.
And who was in the Estate Department at the time? Do you recollect?
There's a director who is ably aided by a senior estate manager. His name is Hussein Udu. But he was the music director, who is Francis Mendy, and he is the director of technical services. But these are directives and instructions that they get from my office.
So until the time you left, nothing was paid by Kanilai or the ex-president?
But when he gave directives, he never indicated to me that he will be reimbursed. We will be reimbursed of the cost of construction that we did there.
Okay.
He just directed that the GPA should rebuild the whole place.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Now, during the period you were there, Kanilai family farms, how were you handling their importation? Or you came sorry.
Of course, the name sounds familiar, and I'm aware of developments that relate to Kanilai family farms. But as a company itself, I don't know much about it. But I know there have been transactions between GPA and that company, and most of the correspondence emanate from the office of the president in relation to respect of Kanilai family farm.
In relation to what?
Kanilai family farms.
Okay. And how did you handle their charges, port charges that they import?
Normally the finance and council will bill them. And I think it came to a point where they were not responding to to our bills and paying them. And they came to my office and reported that matter to me.
They were not responding to your bills?
Yes. And I did ask them that whatever, it is our duty to continue to bill them. Okay. And there were instances where I think we even wrote to them. Maybe it's a long time, but I know I instructed the finance department or the debt recovery team to write to them, to asking them, soliciting them that they should pay up their dues. Although we didn't make any much headway, I don't think they responded positively.
Sorry, although?
They did not respond positively.
They did not respond.
Yes. And so I can remember sometimes when the person calls me, I'm not relating the company to him, but the name is Candelai, so I always bring him to his attention to say the Candelai Family Farms is owing the GPA a lot of money, and whoever is behind the management should respond by paying up the huge bills. I remember once or twice
telling him
up the issue with the president himself. Yes, Your Honor.
What was his reaction when you told him about the outstanding bills?
I think he just laughed over the phone, but he did not respond. He didn't tell me anything. He just laughed over the phone.
So until the time you left, those bills were outstanding, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you came there in 2012. That December 2012. Are you aware? I'll just show you Exhibit SC6 for you to confirm. This is a claim in respect of court charges submitted by GPA against Candelai Family Farms. Could you look at those documents and confirm whether those documents are consistent with what you have told us about the outstanding charges?
I think looking at the documentation, I'm of the view now.
Sorry?
I said looking at the content, I think this is okay.
Yes. There's an outstanding bill of about 11 point something million.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you very much. You can collect the exhibit. Mr. Jiba, when you came in 2012, there was a legacy issue relating to Youth Development Enterprises, YDE. Do you recollect any outstanding invoices they may have had at the time that you took over? YDE.
When I came back from Social Security?
When you took over at GPA. This was in 2012, wasn't it, when you took over?
2012, August. 2012.
Yes. Were there any issues relating to outstanding invoices from YDE? Do you remember? You don't recollect?
Your Honor,
okay.
The name of the organization company is familiar, but I can't remember because it's a long time now. Yes. But I know the name is familiar.
What do you know about YDE?
To be candid, Your Honor, I don't know anything about YDE.
You said it's familiar.
No, the name.
You were managing director of AMRC.
AMRC.
Didn't you deal with YDE as managing director of AMRC?
I can't recollect or remember because I was there from 1999 to 2004, 5 years.
1999 to 2004?
October 2004.
Okay. At AMRC?
At AMRC, yes, Your Honor.
when you were at AMRC, what was AMRC involved in?
Basically, principally, we were to collect the non-performing assets, debt recovery.
Debt recovery. Were you involved
And we were
in
also managing the assets portfolio of the institution.
assets portfolio of the institution? So. Were you involved in commodity trading at AMRC?
Not during my tenure. They were doing some trading, but when I left.
It was only after you left.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you very much. I don't have any further questions.
Mr. Jiva,
Yes, Your Honor.
as managing director of GPA, who appoints the managing director of the Port Authority? Is it the board or somebody else?
I would say the Office of the President.
Office of the President.
I would say the President himself appointed me.
He signed your appointment letter.
No, I think they submitted, I think in concurrence with the Personal Management Office.
Okay.
Because it was Personal Management Office, I think that wrote to me.
PMO.
PMO, but they said in concurrence. The Public Service Commission in concurrence with the Office of the President.
So before you begin your tenure as managing director, is there any document you signed, or do you swear any oath?
No, I did not swear. I can remember I didn't swear on any oath, Your Honor, when I was appointed managing director.
Okay. So you just get an appointment letter and you start. There is no.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm sorry?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. There is no oath of service or loyalty to the nation.
The only oath that I can remember having made or taken was when I was appointed as the Minister for Local Government and Lands.
Yes, ministers.
But managing director,
managing director,
not to my knowledge, I cannot recollect.
They don't swear in front of anybody.
I wouldn't generalize it. I said, personally, I never swore an oath of allegiance as managing director to the country.
All right. So, but as managing director of the Port Authority, there is an objective to contribute positively to the wealth of the nation.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe during your tenure you achieved that objective? Or was that objective hampered by any dealings with any counterparty?
I do not wish to blow my own trumpet together with the management team or teams that hard worked, either at the MRC or ports or elsewhere. But I'm of the view that invariably the GPA has contributed immensely in key sectors of the economy, and also we had been on the vanguard of fighting poverty and encouraging self-reliance. We not only were we a port, but I don't know whether you have heard of the OPEX program, Operation Promote Excellence in the Sciences, that we introduced to train a lot of doctors, teachers to become graduates in mathematics, physics, chemistry. We've done all those things. We've also intervened. Even if you look at the Gambia School, the wall fence that is there was built by the ports. We provided laboratory equipment for the school. Hermitage, we have made some interventions there. And I also remember we've paid once or twice dividends to the Minister of Finance, during my tenure of office.
So net, you contributed positively?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So this is the final question. Do you believe you served the Gambia as Managing Director of GPA without fear or favor?
Yes, Your Honor, I always endeavor to serve my country and the GPA without fear or favor, affection or ill will.
And that's in line with complying with the directive?
I think that's in line with the overall corporate mandate of the GPA. I said that's in line with in the performance of our duty. Most of it is in line with the mandate of the GPA. I cannot pretend to say that we have been 100% successful. There might be areas where we might be found in wanting.
I think if I heard you properly, you said you served without fear or favor. Are you telling this commission that throughout the years you served the GPA, you carried out the directives, orders, and wishes of the president, the ex-president, without any fear or anxiety, but you did everything willingly?
Your Honor, now I'm aware of the direction that you are going on. I think I made a general stupid statement. Maybe with benefit of hindsight, I would say that there are limitations. When it comes to the president, I cannot carry my work without fear or favor, because he's the head of state, and I think he bears the hallmarks of power and authority. And obviously, I cannot override presidential directives or instructions. So yes, there are limitations.
There are limitations to what?
But I'm saying, you know, before I made a sweeping general statement to say, I always endeavor. I said I always endeavor. But when it comes to superior orders, I would say that I did not carry some of the instructions without fear or favor. I think I fear the office of the president. I fear the president himself.
I think I will. Very well, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jiba. We may call on you again if we need any further clarifications on issues or new issues arise, which we think you were involved in. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Can you collect your exhibits, please? That's the last witness. Mr. Chairman, that's the last witness for today.
All right. We are coming again. Monday. 4th of September. Okay. We'll adjourn until Monday, the 4th of September, 2017. At 10 o'clock.
As the commission pleases.